if you guys know who you are. Like, sometimes that question is just so hard to answer. Like, when somebody be like, who are you? You be like, oh damn, who am I? Like, you know? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing good. So today's topic is going to be very, very personal. It is finding yourself in your 20s, discovering your identity and who you are as a person, okay? So let's get into today's video. So for the longest, I have been struggling with my identity and just trying to figure out who I am as a person. I am 24 years old, and thank God I finally figured out who I am as a person. And I feel like this is something that you're gonna always continue to learn and continue to understand who you are as a person, like as life goes on. Like, so you're never like, oh, okay, I know who exactly I am. However, I feel like you're always learning more traits about yourself that continuously make who you are as a person. So we're going to talk about Ortasia's 5 P's of identity, okay? So I like to call these the 5 P's of identity. 1 is person, 2 is personality, 3 is passions, 4 is purpose, and 5 is personal life. So I feel like these 5 things definitely make up who you are as a person and your identity. And also I'm going to give like aligning questions that facilitate the assessment of who you are as a person. So let's get into it. So the first P, person. So this is like, who am I as a person? So this is like your biological and your physical traits and your socioeconomic traits, like what make you who you are. So for instance, I'm a Black woman, I'm 20, I'm curvy, I have curly hair, I'm tall, like I'm from the South, like different things like that, like different traits that make up who you are. And then also, like if you're not rich, like you come from a poor childhood, you come from a traumatic childhood, or whatever the case may be, like just assessment of who you are as a person. And you don't only have to know these biological, physical, and socioeconomic traits, but you also have to accept them. You have to accept those physical traits that you don't like that much. You have to accept those like things that you had no control over growing up. So pretty much I had to learn to genuinely love who God made me. And I feel like once you learn to genuinely love who God made you and what kind of person God made you, that's the first step. Because for as long as I've been battling like with like being tall, being curvy, stuff like that. So I just had to learn it, embrace it, and accept it. And that's who I am. So that is person. So 2, personality. What am I like as a person? So what are you like as a person? So these are like psychological traits, good and bad. Yes, let's get into those bad traits. So for instance, me, I'm smart, I'm sweet, I'm charismatic, I'm helpful, I'm caring, I'm ambitious. So those are like some good traits that I learned, like, okay, this is who Ortasia is. And then also some bad traits, I feel like I'm shy, I fall in love easily, I'm very bossy. So again, you have to understand what these traits are and accept these traits. Or if you can't accept those traits, always work on those traits. Continue to work on bad traits that you don't like about yourself. Like let's say you are bossy, how can you learn how to be a team player? Your experiences are evidence of these traits. So things that you've experienced personally, that's how you figure out like who you are as a person. Like when you're around people, like are you shy or whatever, that's how you acknowledge your character traits. So number 3, passions. What am I passionate about? You may think it's one thing and then like it completely becomes something totally different. You may not have a clue of what you're passionate about. I know for the longest I did not know what I was passionate about at all. And then also you may have to try a lot of different things out until you figure out what you like and what you're passionate about. Or like some people like me, it may have been something you've been doing all along since you were a child and have to tap back into it. So for example, as a kid, I always like wrote songs, plays, poetry. I did a lot of like writing, and then I also liked to act. Like ever since I was little, I was auditioning for TV shows. I did plays. I did all kind of things like that. And then in high school, I got into TV Pro, which is like a TV production career academy program at my high school. So I kind of always was like dabbling in like TV and film and stuff, but I never really realized it was my passion until like a couple years ago. Like I started doing like other stuff like real estate. I started doing nursing. I started doing e-commerce. I just started doing a lot of different things, just trying to figure out who I am and what I'm passionate about. Then it just hit me like a big yellow school bus. And then I was like, oh my gosh, all along I've been a creative person. I'm passionate about acting. I'm passionate about TV production. So let me tap back into that. Let me move to Atlanta, tap back into that and see if that's something that I really do like. And Lord and behold, it is something I'm passionate about. So it felt so good to figure out what I'm passionate about. And that's just only one thing. I'm also passionate about women's rights. I'm also passionate about inspiring other people, other Black women, other young girls to chase their dreams and motivate people. So those are also things that I'm very passionate about as well. So I just feel like you gotta figure out like what are you passionate about, and that plays a big role in your identity. So number 4, purpose. What is my purpose in this lifetime? And usually your purpose are things you would like to change, add, subtract in your family or for the people in this world. So for instance, for my spiritual people, once you realize your life's purpose, it's usually called your spiritual awakening. So for example, I moved to Atlanta to chase my dreams and my passions and to entertain, educate, and inspire other Black women of all ages. Like I came here to break generational curses, remove poverty, sickness, and add financial freedom and true happiness to my family and generations to come. I would also like to be a mom and wife and to create my own legacy. So that is an example of purpose, like what drives you, like what motivates you. It could be your passions, but also like what are the deeper things that you're trying to change in this world. What are the deeper things you're trying to change in your family? And that can be your purpose, like your why, pretty much your why. I know some people always be like, what is your why? Like always think about that. That's your purpose. What is your purpose? Why are you doing the things you're doing? Why are you trying to become a millionaire? Why are you trying to invest in different things? Like why? What is your purpose? And number 5, personal life. What kind of life are you living in private or in intimate settings? So I feel as if your personal life definitely make up who you are as a person. Like what are you doing behind closed doors? What are you doing when people can't see you? What are you thinking about when people can't hear you think, obviously? What are you listening to? What are you consuming? Those are definitely different things that can tell you about your personal life. So in this section, I just have a list of questions that can motivate you in thinking about who you are as a person in your personal life. So first question is, what do you do in your spare time? What kind of company do you keep? So do you keep jealous people around? Do you keep lazy people around? Like what kind of company do you keep? Because I feel like the people you keep around you, that also, you know, tell you about yourself and your personal life. What kind of vibes and energy do you constantly indulge in? What kind of people do you date? That is a big one. If you're dating like no low down dirty people, like what does that say about you? What kind of friends do you have? What kind of stuff entertain you? Like, is social media something that entertain you, or is reading books something that entertain you? You know, who are you behind closed doors? Like I said before, when no one is around, or when your friends are around, who are you? Some people can be a completely different people around their friends. Some people can be completely different people around, you know, their family, whoever. What are you like in different settings? So that leads into the previous question. What are you like in your work environment, your family environment, your friends environment? What are you like around the opposite sex? What are you like around the same sex? Like, who are you in your personal life? And I feel like if you can answer all of these questions, that will definitely give you a good idea of, you know, your identity. So again, the 5 P's that I feel like will help you figure out who you are, especially for the people in their 20s, is person, personality, passions, purpose, and personal life. And again, a little bit about me. Like, when I figured out a lot of the answers to these questions, I felt like I was becoming more self-aware. I felt like I was just realizing, opening my eyes, opening my third eye, becoming more spiritual. I went through my spiritual awakening at 24. So I feel like now I literally see why I'm here and why I'm placed on this earth. For instance, like, I feel as if everyone is here for a reason, and everyone has a purpose, and everyone has passions and a role to play in this earth and in this lifetime. So what is yours? What are you here for? What's your mission? What's your journey? Yeah, so let me know in the comments down below if you guys know who you are. Like, sometimes that question is just so hard to answer. Like, when somebody be like, who are you? You be like, oh damn, who am I? Like, you know? But again, once you figure out these answers, you will be on a good track to figuring out who you are as a person. So if you guys can subscribe to my channel, like, comment down below, and ring that bell notification button so you guys can stay up to date on all my videos. Bye.